Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to enroll your Android phones with Microsoft Intune. Microsoft Intune is a cloud service which is mainly focused on mobile device management, right? So after we enroll the Android phones, I will show you how the compliance policies are working with Microsoft Intune. So basically this is one way where you can manage your users devices, right? Because when it comes to your data, you need to make sure whether it's belongs the phones belongs to the users or whether it's belongs to the corporate, the company, how to protect your data. So let's figure it out how we can uh, control these mobile devices through Microsoft Intune. So as a first part, let's see how the enrollment happens. So let me quickly open the Microsoft Endpoint Manager Admin Center, right? So yeah, so this is Microsoft Endpoint Manager Admin Center, right? So this is basically the home page, and when you go to the dashboard, it shows how many compliance devices, how many are okay with the configurations, how many enrolled so far, right? Kind of a summary. Then under the devices overview, there are four main categories: Android, macOS, iOS, and Windows. Right? These are the main four categories. So here you have overview, all devices, how many devices are enrolled, right? And the monitor status, right? The status with any failures or any errors or any conflictions, anything, right? So then if you go back, then under Windows, how to manage your Windows 10 devices, right? So then you have the compliance policies, configuration policies separately, right? Then when it comes to iOS, Apple, mobile phones, and the iPad OS, right? And then Mac OS, right? Apple Macs, then Android phones, right? So since we are mainly focusing on the Android, I will go through this, right? So let's click the Android uh, pillar, right? Once you open it, you have Android devices and Android enrollment and also the policies. So under policies, there are two policy categories. One is compliance, the other one is configuration profiles. So when it comes to the configuration, it's like like block your camera, things like that, right? Restrictions of your existing apps, type of things. But compliance is you need to make sure that your device is secure, whether your device has the latest OS, right? So kind of compliance policies you can configure. So I'm going to do the compliance policies once we enroll the Android devices. So when you click the overview, it shows the overview uh, details of the Android. So when you click the Android devices, it will list down all the devices which are already enrolled. Then under Android enrollment, this is the area where you are configuring all these things mainly before you doing the enrollment, right? So whether you want to integrate your Play Store with Intune, right? So admins are approving it from their end, and then only users will be able to visible all these apps once it approved from Play Store level, kind of settings. But I'm not going to focus on this since I have already configured this. So let's go to the um, Android devices. Now what I'm going to do is now I'm going to show you my Android phone, right? So let me unlock my phone first. Okay, this is Google Nexus uh, 6P phone, right? So let me, yeah, so you can see it's a Nexus 6P, right? So let me go back. So first of all, before we enroll, you must download the Microsoft company portal, the Intune company portal. So if it's Android, you can go to the Play Store and download it. If it's Apple, from there. right? So likewise you can download it. It's a free app which is available in the app stores. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click the Play Store over here, right? So then I'm going to type, now you can see company portal is here, or else you can type it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it. So it says enable, okay, because from the Play Store level I have already enabled it for the Android users. So I'm going to say click enable. It will say okay, open. Because why it came so fast, because I have already tested this with company portal, so I'm doing it again. So next is, now we are going to enroll the devices. So what I'm going to do is, so because I already enrolled it, so let me quickly click this revert work profile. Yes, okay, right? Otherwise you will come up with the first state like sign in, right? So you just click sign in, right? Then you can type the username and password over here. So what I'm going to do is let me type the username now. Okay, this is my test domain, right? And then I'm going to say okay, and next is the password. So I'm going to, since I have saved the password, I'm going to click it. Yeah, and I'm going to click sign in. Now it will sign into your company portal, because I have already assigned the required license um, to this user, right? So there are three main steps which we need to complete. So the first is creating the work profile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click begin. So these are the things, once you enroll the devices, these are the things where the Android systems, once you enroll, what the company can see all these details, right? Can see and can never see. So it can't see your call and web history, location, email and text messages, contacts, passwords, personal apps, calendars, and things like that. These are things where we can see model, serial number, operating system, because Microsoft mainly focus on the user's privacy, because we are not touching your personal stuff at all, right? So once that is done, click continue. Yep. So it's setting up your profile. Okay. So here you have to accept this. Let's wait for a few seconds. Okay, now I have created the work profile. Now let's continue to activate it. Let's click the continue button over here. Okay, it's registering your Android devices with Microsoft Intune, which is in the cloud. Right, it's almost the end. Yeah, now let's select the correct category for this device. So it's, since it's Android, let's click Android and let's click done. Okay, now all the steps we have completed. So create work profile done, activate profile done, update the device settings is done. So let's click done, complete. Now when you go to the devices, you can see you have enrolled your device, right? It's dated the correct dates, today's one, right? Then when you click apps, if you have already published any apps or anything, here you can visible all the apps, right? So whatever support details it's visible over here when you click it, right? Then when you go to the devices, and also you can see here notification tab. When you click, it says some messages. So let's click. You can see what it says is you need to update settings on this device. Last check at this date at this time. The company needs you to adjust these settings, right? So it says no company policy assigned yet because still I didn't do any compliance policies to Android, right? So let's just give a try and see what happens here. Let's confirm device settings. Let's assume we have already done some compliance settings and see what's happening now. What it says not in compliance, right? So let's refresh it again. Yeah, right. So time 12:54, still it's not compliant. So next what we'll do is we'll go back to the uh, M365 Microsoft 365, the endpoint manager admin center, right? So here now if you go back and if you refresh here now, because now we have already enrolled the device, let's see whether it's visible over here. Refresh. Okay, now it says okay, this is the device, it's compliance not evaluated. So let's click it and see. So it says okay, this is the time, the device name, the serial number. Okay, the phone number is not visible because I didn't insert any mobile sim into this. What I'm using is the Wi-Fi, right? But in case if you have a SIM card which has a mobile number, then right, then if you enroll this under personal ownership, it will never visible over here. But if you change this, to device ownership to corporate, let's click it and see, then it will say Intune collects phone numbers and then it will visible the phone number back in here, right? If you change it to the ownership, change it to the corporate, right? So since this is a personal device, I'm not going to do that. So instead of that, what I'm going to do now is we need to make sure my devices comply with my Intune policies. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to the Android devices here. So these are the compliance policies related to Android, and these are the configuration policy related to Android. If you go back here, these are the generally, these are all the compliance policies and everything. If you click compliance policies here, you can see the iPhone 1, Windows, and everything is there. But now with endpoint manager itself, it has a proper categorization. So when you click Android, whatever the policies, it's only show you here. So let's create a compliance policy and see how it goes. So let me click create policy. So I'm going to select Android Enterprise, then I'm going to select web profile and click create. Okay, let's create Nexus 6 C1 test Nexus 6B, right? So then click next. Compliance settings. So these are the compliance settings available under these Android work profile, right? Let's see. Let's go to device properties, because all these you can configure. Device health, rooted device. If it's a rooted device, click block, right? So these things you can configure. So I'm not. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to do the server minimum OS version must be minimum 7.1 or above. So I'm going to do that. Then under system security, I'm going to enable a few options require password to unlock mobile devices. Require. So I'm going to select numeric, at least minimum 4. Minimum maximum activity before password is required. Let's put it to 5 minutes since I'm doing many testings. Number of days until password expires, let's put it to 14 days. Right. Number of previous passwords so let's put 10. Right. So for the moment it's enough. So once you configure all this, let's click next. Okay. So I'm not going to schedule this or do anything, right? So these are basically actions for non-comply. If it's not comply, what it's need to be done, right? So something like that. So I'm not going to do any settings over here, just clicking. So I'm going to use the default uh, scope and click next. Now here I'm going to assign the device into the groups or users or whatever. So I'm going to select a group. So if you say all users will get it. So instead of that, I'm going to select the group. So I'm going to select a separate group because I have already created a group called Android mobs. I'm going to select that Android mobs. Select. So I've done it. Click next. So this is a summary of it. What you have enabled, minimum OS version. These are the things, right? Just go through it and verify everything is okay. Then create it. Now I have created the policy, but here you can see still it says as assign no. But you remember that I have assigned it to Android mobiles. Let's refresh it and see. It's yeah, it's assigned, right? So everything is done now. So then what we have to do is, now I have assigned this to what? Android mobs. But now when you go here, this is my device, right? Is my device, but still I didn't assign this to any group. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the options over here, groups, click groups, then I'm going to select search for Android mobs. So this is a group, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add my mobile device which I've just added into these Android mobs. So let's do this. So let's click members. So far it's nothing. So let's add the members and we'll go down and see whether, so these are the, so it shows only 50 results. Let's click type Hasita and let's see based on the times what is the latest. It says okay, this is the one, right? So if you're not quite sure, let's cancel this and go back to the devices back, Android devices. Make sure this is the exact time. So 21st of April 2020 at 7:22 p.m. Let's go back, right? Yeah, members. So add members. Let's type Hasita. Yeah, this is the one, right? So I'm going to click it. So I have added the correct one. Now I'm going to select it. So it's already added, right? Then let's go back to Android devices. Now let's go to the Android devices. Now I have added the mobile device in the correct group as well. So everything is fine now. Let's see how the compliance work. So before that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to forcefully uh, do a annual sync from the portal itself. So for that, under the Android devices, click the correct device you want to sync and you can say click sync, right? When you click sync, it will forcefully push all the policies and whatever the configuration you have done from the admin center to your devices. Let's click a sync and see how it will. Before that, Let me quickly open the phone. Okay, now you can see, just keep an eye on here. There will be a icon will pop up over here, right? So yeah, let's see. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to I'll click sync, right? Just note here what happens. Okay, yes, can you see the icon has popped up? Now keep an eye on here. 1254, we just did it at 105. We send the manual sync at 105. So let's refresh it and see whether this will change or not. Yeah, it's 105, but it still says not in compliance. So what I'm going to do is from here also I'm going to click the check device settings to verify the compliance settings are working fine or not, because usually this will take little time, but let's forcefully get it done. So let's click it. Okay, now once that is done, it's changed back to 107 because I tried it for the second time from the device in, and suddenly the status of the device settings changed to in compliance. Let's go back and see now what is now the icon, the exclamation mark with the red gone, and here also the notification is 0. So let's go back to the portal over here and see how it works now. Let's yeah, now this is my yeah, it says compliance not compliant yet, right? So let's refresh it and see it's not compliant yet. Okay, let's go back, or let's check here. It's the same. Yeah, it's the same. Let's refresh it again. Not yet. Okay, even though the device is already complied from device in, it seems still message didn't pass over here. Okay, now it says compliant. Right, so let's go back and see. Refresh. Yeah, it's compliant now. So now system knows, okay, this is comply according to the Intune policies which we have created over here, because it's what we have said is if it's 7.1 and if it has any passwords or anything, let's comply. So those are the configurations which we have done, right? So based on that, if everything match, the admin center comply the device to go ahead and work with the device. So this is how the enrollment happens with Microsoft Intune when you are using Android enrollments. So in addition to that, if I tell you some few more features under here, right? So if you have, say for example, if you have and bulk Android devices, you can send bulk actions, messages, things like that. And if you want to do any individual actions against these mobile devices, you have a couple of things where you can reset the passcode, you can manually sync, you can remotely lock, you can delete the device, you can retire the device, only the data belongs to the company, and you can send customer notifications, right? Let's see how this works now. Let me quickly yeah, let's take it over here. Yeah, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to send custom notifications to this phone. I'm just going to click it, right? Then I'm going to type it, test 6p testing 1 2 3, right? And what I'm going to do here is, let's take it to the standard mode. So you're in the phone, right? So then let's click the send button over here and see how it works. In few seconds you can see it's popped. When you click here, it says the entire message, right? So this is how you can send the message to your devices, right? So then also you have the remote assistance option as well. So I will show you how the remote assistance works in my next video. So this is mainly with TeamViewer, right? So that's how it works. So as I mentioned, now in case if you want to if it's a company owned device, right, and if you want to see the mobile numbers and all over here, right, so what you have to do is simply go to the properties, right, then just change it to the corporate and agree and do the save option. So then it will, a few minutes it will show you the correct phone number uh, over here, right, over here. So that's how it works. So let me check whether yeah, so this is my phone as well. So there you can see my phone number, right, because I have converted it as corporate. If you say personal, it will hide your phone number in later stage. It will take little time. Yes, yeah, you can see now the entire number is not there, only the last four digit is there. It's because you change it to personal, right? So that's how it works. So please go through whatever the rest of the configurations as I mentioned over here, right? There are many things which you can give a try, right? So you can also under configuration policies, you can configure many settings under enterprise. So under work profiles, Wi-Fi, VPN. So I will show you how these configuration policies works on my next videos, right, together with the remote assistance, right, how we push the VPN, how we push the Wi-Fi and things like that, and we'll see how it goes. So then if you need to have more idea in terms of Android enrollment with Microsoft Intune, you can visit this website and you can get more ideas in many areas. So thank you very much for watching my video, and let's meet with my next video. And my last advice is stay safe within this COVID-19 situation. Stay safe, always stay at home, unless if there is anything urgent only, just go out, otherwise make sure you are safe at all. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.